So years ago, a friend, Linda Capular, interrupted her biologist husband as he was waxing poetic about the 5 kingdoms of life. Why, she wondered, were these meta-categories of the groupings of life on Earth called kingdoms? After all, Linda said, in nature there are no kings. Wouldn't it all make more sense to call them kingdoms, since all life is kin? Or, as we say at Bioneers, it's all relatives. One of those kingdoms that we know precious little about is the fungi. Today's mycologists have identified around 14,000 species, although it's anticipated that there may actually be well over 1 million kinds. You may be surprised to know that as human beings, we share more than 30% of our DNA with fungi, more than we do with plants. But in Paul Stamets' case, we're pretty convinced it's more. So please join me in welcoming the myco-magician of the Northwest Rainforest and the leading bioambassador of the fungal realm, a man who is helping to translate the talents of an entire taxonomic kingdom to come to the aid of our species and our imperiled biosphere, Paul Stamets.
Thank you, Nina and Kenny, and thanks to all of you. For a person who has a fear of speaking in public, this is really interesting for me. I think we all know that the Earth is in trouble. We are now entered into what's called 6X, the 6th major extinction on the planet. Like rivets of an airplane, as we lose species, the rivets are popping, and at some point we will come to a level of catastrophic failure. We don't know what is ahead, but I think we all sense that it's important that we do what we can to be able to save this planet. My wife and I spend a lot of time in the old-growth forest. It's a place that we like to go on Sundays, so we feel going into the old-growth forest is a very spiritual experience. I think the old-growth forest has a lot of potential that is not yet recognized, as I think many habitats also do. In the Science news, on April 15th of this year, there was an article stating that all plants are part fungi. Indeed, there are mycorrhizal fungi in the roots of trees and plants. There are endophytic fungi, there are saprophytic fungi, as well as parasitic fungi. So it's interesting now that science, the more that we explore the interrelationships between organisms, we find that fungi are pervasive, that they are everywhere. In the Journal of Eukaryotic Microbiology, in December 15th, 27 authors co-authored a paper stating that there is a new super kingdom that should be erected, and I should use the word kingdom. It's called Opaisthakanta, and this super kingdom recognizes that fungi and animals share a more common ancestry than with any other group. So some of the oldest remnants or the oldest records that we have of mushrooms can be found in amber. This is from the Miocene period, and here's a fully intact mushroom. It's 15 to 20 million years old. The oldest mushrooms found so far in amber are 90 to 100 million years old. Mushrooms had achieved their shape and form long before hominids had even evolved. So what do? We grow lots of saprophytic mushrooms, and this is the roots of the mushroom, otherwise known as mycelium. And the mycelium is extremely interesting to me, but what we do at our business is, and what happens in nature, is we take wood chips, we add mycelium, and ultimately soil is created. Mushrooms are the grand molecular disassemblers in nature. They are the soil magicians. And the end consequence of the decomposition of plant and animal forms result in soil. These are the interface organisms between life and death.
This program is brought to you by Link TV for educational and non-commercial use only. Link TV is the only US network dedicated to global and national news, uncompromising documentaries, and diverse cultural programs. Programs which connect you to the world.